Better, no? Yeah, okay. So, great. Okay. So to start off, let's keeping those reference pictures from our last week's mm, chat in view. We can kind of start matching the colors of the different items we have here. So we can start with maybe the vada pav because it's at the top left. Now vada pav. Let me just get the paints. Okay, let's go in with a wash consistency of the most obvious color, which is yellow ochre. Yellow ochre wash consistency should help us get the base coat of a vada pav top. Actually, I don't have my, that spray. The spray activates everything. Okay. So now we want to get this top part covered. Here, what is going to happen is a little bit of this is going to just be left white. So look at the picture and just follow the line that it shows over there. I'm dipping into a little darker yellow ochre while it is wet, while my lighter color is wet. And into this, I will also drop a little bit of burnt umber. But burnt umber is only on the top part, not anywhere else. So this wet on wet blend will give you the bread, the goodness of the bread that we are trying to achieve. The same yellow yellow ochre, you can mix with a little bit of gamboge. Again, wash consistency, yeah? Very light. Just apply light rim at the bottom of our bread. Just a bit. It has to dry light, so we don't want to make it darker than this. Okay. Now the actual pav is also yellow ochre starting. So let's take yellow ochre, the pav itself. See? And this you can go in with a deeper shade. Wash is not required. You can actually go in with a slightly darker shade of yellow. What else? Now, in the picture, there are some orange bits of chutney. We can add that in after, not chutney, your lasun ka, yeah. So let's add that in after this dries, okay? Let's not go in while this is wet. I'm just applying some concentrated yellow ochre at a few places, concentrated. Because this yellow ochre wash is already wet, this concentrated drop is going to give it a bit of some texture, the texture of the fried batter. Okay, going on to mirchi. Mirchi, we can start with sap green. A layer of sap green here. Now remember that we need to put a slight shine on the mirchi. So put a base and put a top, leaving a small bit in between white. Just a tiny bit. Same thing here, top and bottom, and a little sliver of white. I think my white is a little too big, so I'm going to just go make it thinner. Mirchi is done. Next is, let's go on to the bhajias. Bhajias, we can look at the picture. The pictures, see, it's quite yellow and orange, yellow, orange, and uh, light red. These are three colors that I can see. So we can dip into yellow, sorry, that's gamboj, orange, and what is called light red, or yeah, light red. Okay. So let's start. Activate all three colors. Activate all three of them. Wet them all. And start with the yellow. Apply it in lines around the bhajia so that you have some white spaces which will show the gaps. And not all of it needs to be covered with yellow. We are going to go in with orange and red as well. So since I'm doing that bhajia, I'm also coming here and finishing off this bhajia here. I had some bhajia here also. Next, I dip into the orange and apply orange in a few places, not too much. But apply it if possible while the yellow is still wet. Just a bit. Yeah, that should be enough. At this stage, it will look like jalebi, yeah? Because yellow and orange is going to make it look like jalebi. The difference that's going to, what makes it bhajia and not jalebi will be the mix that we are going to now do, which is the light red, a little bit of light red, and some burnt umber. If you mix these two colors, you'll get a nice deep brown. Okay. And this brown has to come in at certain places, in certain gaps, not everywhere. If you look at the bhajia itself, you will find that it doesn't have too much of burn. The more brown we put, the more burnt it's going to look. So if you don't want it to look so burnt, just put in small bit of brown. And now this part is something that I have tried myself several times and found very effective. Go back after adding your colors light to dark. There is no harm in just going back with the lightest color, which is our yellow in this case, Gamboj, and just tapping it around. Now, what happens with this, I find it dulls the darker colors that we put later, right? It dulls them down a bit. Otherwise, they become a little stark. So if you go back with the yellow, by the time you finish doing this exercise, no, the brush is no longer yellow. Huh? It has become something like orangish brown. So starts off yellow, but it dulls the brown that we had put. And there your bhajia looks more like bhajia. Okay, on to the next thing. Dokla? No, dokla, this one is going to overlap. So let's do samosa. Samosa. Okay. I'm looking, if you pay attention, you'll notice I'm trying to go through the foods that do not touch each other so that we don't have a color mix happening. Yeah. So medu vada or dokla or this thing will work. Let's go with what is this now? This is yellow ochre. So I'm going to look at my samosa. Samosa, if you look at it, maybe a bit of yellow gamboj and yellow ochre. Okay. So maybe what we can do is a base wash of gamboj. Let me just put a wash. Hodgepodge paint. This part, no, is exactly like how Aditi does her washes, especially the ones where we have the cerulean blue around some monument we have drawn that way. Just press down your brush and spread the paint. That's it. A light tone. Then we'll go in with the yellow ochre. Now yellow ochre, add it to the darker side. Now if you look at the picture, on the left is where we see darkness. So add it on that side. Okay. We also see some darkness here at the base. So tap in a bit here. And then again mix yellow ochre and burnt umber, sorry, yellow ochre and gamboge, and drop in at a few places on the body. If it is still wet, it's excellent because then you will get this wet on wet blend at certain places, uneven cooking, that kind of thing. First, we will add our burnt umber, dip into burnt umber, but very lightly. Try not to get this too dark. Otherwise, your samosa is going to really look burnt. Only at the tips, at the edges of your samosa. Okay. And a few places in between you can drop in. This dropping in of paint is actually very nice. See, wet on wet. It does just the right thing for you. It doesn't overpower the base shade, but it adds some texture. Samosa is looking decent. If I want to go back and do something more in terms of darkness, wait for it to dry. Then we'll add a little bit of a dark patch. Let's not do it anymore. Medu vada then? Medu vada is what color? Same. So you notice we are doing all the similar shades of. Okay, medu vada is looking more orange to me. Shall we just try orange instead of gamboge? Base coat orange. A little bit of burnt umber after that. Now the burnt umber is mostly sitting at the base of the medu vada. See here. So let it blend naturally with what is on top, leaving the top of the medu vada still a bit orange. Okay. 1 or 2 drops of brown can end up on top as well, but only at a few places. This is just to show the unevenness of the surface, but nothing more. Center, I am not going to do much. I'm just going to drop in a dot and leave it because I want to darken the center later. If I darken it now, it's going to mix with the orange and then we lose the niceness of that crust. Okay, so leave it. Go on to the next thing. What is next? Tea. Shall we do the green tea now? Green tea. Yeah. Now, green tea is a funny color. It's like that green yellow mix. Okay, so we'll try and dip into 2 colors. We'll dip into lemon yellow on one side and sap green. Keep both colors activated so that if you want, you can start with the lemon yellow.
tissue there.
Sorry?
Paper napkin there.
Oh. Just remember one thing when we are coloring in this bit, okay, the green tea, the outer rim, no, which we left over there, don't color that in. Okay, you see that outer rim? Just the outer rim of the glass. If we color that in, it's not going to give us that glassy feel. Leave that white. After I put lemon yellow, I'm going to start putting in green, sap green. More at the edges. These places, let it blend. Let it blend with the lemon yellow you added. Now we can't draw out the color of the leaf just yet because it's wet. Leave it. Okay. One more color that I think may add some value to this. This thing is probably a little bit of just a dot of yellow ochre. Not too much, huh? Because then it's going to become a little brownish or orangish, and we don't want that. Just a bit. That's it. Leave it. Now we can go on to coffee. Coffee is brown, I think. Copper brown. So this brown, you can achieve this brown by mixing something like yellow ochre and burnt umber. Okay, more yellow ochre, less burnt umber. Let's try that mix. And keep it at wash consistency. So the solution I have found is you put that wash consistency down almost everywhere. Wash, huh? So it can't be very dark, quite light. After this has dried, we are going to go in with a slightly darker brown and color only the circles that we have drawn in the coffee. Okay, what that's going to achieve is the bubbles that we are trying to get over here. If you notice, see, if you look at this coffee, all of those bubbles in the coffee are darker. So what we have put over here is going to look lighter. At the moment, it looks not light, but when we put the dark in, it will look light. Okay, so let's just leave this brown as it is. Go on to the tea. Okay. Now, tea that we have here is a very vibrant tea. It's not your dull brown. So consider using yellow ochre and light red. Quite vibrant. Yellow ochre and light red. More yellow ochre, less light red. And let's apply this gently in the center of the tea. Leave the rim of the glass which is going through the tea white. Now see what I'm doing here. You'll notice I've put the color on the center of the tea. Wipe your brush off. Okay, so now you have no more pigment on this brush. It's just quite dry. And just lightly run it along the edge. This will draw the paint out and leave the center looking darker. See, the edge will look light, but the center will look dark because my paint has not spread with uniformity in throughout the tea. So wipe your
What are
brush
the colors you use, Susan, for the tea?
for the tea,
Huh?
yellow ochre and
Huh?
light red.
Oh,
Yellow ochre and light red. Okay. Similarly, we are going to continue coloring. Now observe the picture, because if you look at the picture, you'll get the hang of what we're trying to achieve. The colors all over this. Now we do not see glass ka difference anywhere. We only see the glass ka white or gray or whatever at the bottom. So leave the bottom out, but everything else can be colored in with this brown color. Start from the left, go to the right so that your pigment reduces by the time you come to the right. That will give you a natural dark to light feel. Okay. And if that has not happened, just take your dry brush and wipe it over this portion. It will pick up whatever extra pigment you feel you may have deposited. The first round on most of these things, no, is so easy. It's because it's just two colors or three colors, and very often a single color. So nothing to worry about. Now we can go in with the Dokla. Dokla is a little vibrant. We are not going to use gamboge. We are going to use lemon yellow. Okay. Start with lemon yellow, and the darker shades we want to add to the Dokla will be gamboge. Okay. So start with lemon yellow. Now, when you're putting lemon yellow, just remember that a few pieces on the top have to be white. If you go over them, you will have to take a white jelly roll pen and do it later. Okay. If you don't want to do that, just leave some pieces on top of it white. while you paint right now. Up to you how you want to do it. This is one way. The other way is that you color it all in and then go in with a white jelly roll. This is plain lemon yellow. I will continue that lemon yellow downward. Okay. And as I go halfway through, I will start with gamboge. Dip into gamboge slightly. Don't make it too pigmented. And end your dokla bottom with gamboge. Yeah. Same thing for the dokla that's now sitting. If you have a dokla like mine here, I'll be doing the same thing for this. All right. And now we go on to the only bright spot in our page, and that's the kulfi. For kulfi, we have a pink kulfi. Look at the lovely pink we have in the reference photo. Now this pink, to achieve this pink, do not add white. However much you feel like adding white to your crimson, please don't add white to crimson. What you have to do is simply take a little bit of crimson. Let me show you the mix here, okay? Okay. So I'm going to take some little bit of crimson. See? Quite little, okay? And to this, add some water. And already your crimson will start to look very pale, very, very pale, watery in fact. Apply this on your kulfi as your first layer. This pale pink is what you want to add as your first layer. So do you notice that the paper white takes care of that color that we want, the dull pink color that we want? Because your paper is so white and watercolor is so transparent, the pink and the white will give you the light pink that you want. So wash consistency is what will give you this lovely kulfi shade. That's it. See? Your lightest pink. After it has dried, when we go with the second round, we will take crimson again, but slightly more concentrated, slightly than the wash. Okay, now that these are done, let's go in with the second. What are we left to do now? The coffee vessel. Ah, yes, this is bronze, copper. So this coppery color, we will have to start with. We will have to start with gamboge to get this coppery color. Start with gamboge. Go along the rim of your, wherever you see the bright yellow of that coffee mug, no, of this coffee cup, no, make sure that you have applied gamboge. That's the important part to remember. So I see it on the rim here. Most of the rim has it. Okay, apply gamboge carefully on the rim, on the common area here. That's it. And immediately change to yellow ochre. Okay, keep your yellow ochre ready and go under that same thing with yellow ochre. So now your gamboge is mixing with yellow ochre. A little bit deeper gamboge, yellow ochre at certain places, like for example here and here. This is where the shadow is most evident. You can put a little bit extra over here, the base of the cup. After you apply to the base of the cup, dry your brush off and just blend it with the top. See? That's it. Some yellow ochre here. That's it. So the base of that is done. We have a chutney here. What do we say? We will go with a, do you want to go with a green chutney or a tomato? Any suggestions? See, we have another green here, okay? We have a green for the leaf that we are going to paint here, okay? So perhaps we could have a red here, like a, yeah, red chutney. So if we are going in with a red chutney, I'm going to look for a red chutney if I have one out here. Here, with the bhajiyas. Can you see the red chutney that is there with the bhajiyas at the side? Let's try and do that. For that, we'll have to take scarlet, activate scarlet and light red. Okay, go in with a little bit of scarlet. Leave some white space, just a little bit, and let it sit there. What else? Green of the banana leaf. Forgot about that. Green of the banana leaf. Now, banana leaf green is not really sap green. Let me see if I can find it here. Maybe what there. So it's not really sap green. If you look closely, it is more like this. I don't know on the palette. Is it called emerald green? Yeah, emerald green. Okay. So let's take emerald green, a wash, and apply it along this. When you're applying it, apply it along the veins of the leaf so that if you leave some white spaces, they will kind of keep with the veins. A few white spaces here and there will go with the direction of the veins. Light is too low, no? Going in with a little more emerald green. There are some portions on that leaf which are darker than others. So if you want to go in with one more darker round on certain veins of the banana leaf, go ahead and do it now. It will blend quite well. Make sure that under the medu vada, the green is definitely a little darker than the green elsewhere because eventually we want to add a shadow. Okay, so that leaf should be fine now. Back to our vada pav. Vada pav needs orange for the lasun chutney. So take a little bit of orange and let's add that in here. A little bit here. Some peeking out from this end. And this has to be like dots because we are dabbing it around the place. That's it. Just a few dabs. This chutney will also, lasun ka chutney will also be a little bit spread on the beside the vada pav. So please go ahead and put a few dots over here around it. For some contrast, you can put a dot of scarlet here and there, just here and there. Otherwise, it's going to all become red. We don't want red. A dot of scarlet. That's it. If you have brown ready, I have a little bit of burnt umber. Okay, here. It's dried up. I'm just going to activate it. It's not very deep. It's still, if you ask me, more wash than it is very pigmented. Start adding some patches on the vada pav. Okay. So the back part is burnt. Top part is burnt, sorry. These kind of lines and dashes will show as texture on the top, burnt texture. Uneven burnt texture. Similarly, you can take that same brown shade, maybe add a little yellow ochre to it, and apply it also a little bit on the vada pav. This part of the vada pav is a little darker than the other side because of the shadow, just where the chutney is. So I'm just adding that bit over here so that the vada pav has some texture. Where it is exposed to light, don't add this too much because it's still bright yellow. Now Aditi's gray, which is a combination of, I have it on my palette here, burnt umber and ultramarine blue. Usually there on our palette everywhere at some corner. Take a wash consistency of that gray. Very, very light wash. Dry your brush and take a little bit of that gray. I'm saying dry because sometimes when I go in straight with this brush, no, it takes blobs of paint. It deposits blobs of paint, and we want to just put a slight few dots. See, now even my dots are looking rather image is pixelated again. Yeah, clear enough. Sometimes you may feel that your blobs are a little dark. Don't worry. It is wash consistency will always dry light, very light. So don't worry about it. Okay, that's it. Some texture to that vada pav. Now, bhajiyas. For the bhajiyas, be very careful. We are going in a second round of burnt umber. And this time it is not very watery. To this burnt umber, you can add a little bit of the gray that we made just now. Just a wee bit. Now applying to the bhajia, just make sure that you are not applying it everywhere. Tactfully apply it only at certain places. Here, see? I think my brown should be darker, so I'm putting in a little bit of black to it. The brown is not dark enough. So now let me put it at this point. In the center, at the corner of two curves. See? Only at these kind of places where two layers are meeting or something like that.
माझे room झाले. झाले.
Can you see? So I've hardly added any compared to the earlier colors. But that little blackish brown we have added makes for, gives it some contrast. Now look at this one. Huh? This has got no blackish brown. But I'll add it in here. A bit here. And some here. This is basically the shadow of one layer on top of another layer. That's it. Just the shadow. Okay. So don't put too much shadow because most of our layers are on top itself. That is done. Now we'll get on to medu vada. Now this dark brown mixture we made, which is brown and black. Burnt umber and black mix. Burnt umber and black. Let us apply it to the medu vada in the center. Let's look at the medu vada picture. So the center of the medu vada is quite deep. All right. The same brown can also be applied under the medu vada here. And after you've done this, wipe off the brush, wipe off the paint on the brush. So now your brush is left with hardly any pigment. Just run it on the base of your medu vada here. Okay, this is just to indicate a shadow. That's it, nothing else. You can also go in with that mix. We have a mix somewhere here for yellow ochre. Some mix was made, right? If you reapply that mix at certain places on your medu vada, you will get slight depressions. You know those depressions that come from uneven shape? You can add those in, those depressions. Because they're the same shade and they're going to dry light. So you can apply some shape to your medu vada. That's it. Done. What else are we left with? Dhokla ka top. Some items are white, some are green. So you have coriander leaves, you have coconut. Decide which pieces are going to be coriander, likely the ones looking leafy. Now in my drawing, I've left a few that are like pears. See, like here. This is a leaf. This is a leaf. Okay. A few of them have to be green, the rest has to be white. That's done. Into the dokla to add little more, it's looking a little flat right now. What I do is take a little bit of yellow gamboge. To that, add little yellow ochre. I'm taking very little. And let's add a few dots onto the side of the dokla. It may appear like these will hardly be seen, and that is the whole point. We are not trying to get these to be seen very distinctly, but when they dry, they will look like those holes we have in the dokla. Yeah? It's not meant to stand out. It is meant to blend in. All right, going down. Now we have this coffee cup, okay? Green tea cup. Green tea cup is actually a bit of gray. Which gray? The gray that Aditi mixes for us, which we have here on our palette, which is burnt umber and ultramarine blue. But we can't make it so darker. We need to dilute this a bit. Wipe it off. Take only a little bit of the wash on your brush. Now, if you look at the glass, you will notice that the grays are only visible on the tip of everything. So, for example, let me show you here. You can see gray here and here, and then you will see that there is some gray along this inner surface and some gray on the outer surface. But you have to leave white places. You have to leave white spots. Okay. You have to leave white spots. Let me just show you close up how that looks. I'm trying to keep it as light as possible. Can you see the edge of my cup now? See, I basically just gone over one line here, one line on the outer, and that's it. I've left the white space. The similar thing will need to be done on the rim of the cup. Put a small shaky line along the border. Okay, even this part, and that's it. Leave the white spaces as they are. It's glass and we just want to show some reflection of light, or some parts where the light doesn't pass as much and other parts where the light is completely passing through the glass. That's it. The next thing is to darken the green leaf inside. Go in with a little bit of sap green. Okay, don't make it very dark, just a bit darker than your wash. and shade. Put that shade in. On the rim, I like to put the same kind of darkness, by the way, where the tea is touching the glass, just around the rim. In the picture, you will notice there's even one sliver of something over here indicating that there must be a leaf sitting there. We can't see it. So if you don't want to put it, it's fine. There's no harm. But now it looks like there's something in the tea. Onto the coffee. Coffee, now we are going to go in with we're going to go in with burnt umber and a little bit of black. But wash consistency, not very dark. More water than anything. And let's darken these bubbles. So if you don't have a small brush and you're doing it with a big brush, just use the tip of your brush. All these little circles can be darkened. If you want to add a few more circles, go ahead and add them. Try and make the dots uneven. When I say uneven, uneven in size. Because if everything is going to be more or less even, it won't look very organic. I think that's the word I'm trying to say. See, the bubbles here are there are 2 or 3 really large ones, and then there are so many tiny ones. We will also darken this part. Now here we want burnt umber and a little bit of, what is this? Yellow ochre. Burnt umber, yellow ochre, and darken this part here. Start from both the ends. Okay, make a triangle like patch. Then just take a little yellow ochre, plain yellow ochre, and bring that paint in further. So what's going to happen is that burnt umber is going to reduce. Wipe off your brush and just drag the paint towards the inner part. See? Same way, this base here has got a little bit of color. Almost like a shadow sitting of the cup sitting on the that katori. I will just take burnt umber, sorry, yellow ochre, my mistake, yellow ochre, and merge. Using a light color to after a dark color like this does help in blending. Okay, so all the time we don't have to go light to dark. We can go from dark to light as well. I'm going to do a bit of that same shade on the inner part of this. The outer part is nice and yellow, so I don't want to touch the outer. Just the inner rim of the coffee cup and a little bit on the outer part, which is not seen in our picture. That's it. Some parts remain little extra yellow, just leave those because those show the shiner. So I wouldn't want to touch that and not get the shine. Now see, my coffee has dried quite light, those dots. Even though when I applied it, it looked rather big, rather dark. There's a little bit of chutney over here I have drawn. I'm just going to give it some color. Green. Like leftover chutney sticking out. Yeah. We have some mint leaves, pudina leaves here. So let's apply I'm applying emerald green followed by sap green. So little emerald green, little sap green, and that's it. Pudina is done. Yellow ochre in a wash consistency for the ginger next to this tea. Lastly, we want a little bit of gray on this white color bowl here, and we want a little bit of gray on the tika. Wait, let's hold off on the tea. Tea, no, we need to darken. Now, what has happened is our base color is dried off now. Now we have this flat looking tea. Okay, but what we want is a darker tea. Okay, so let's go back in and darken the tea. Let's take light red, little bit of light red, mix it with yellow ochre, and now apply it over here in vertical strokes. Now, when you come to the middle, the last ones here, the darkness is on one side, this side. Observe that. It's only on this side. Okay. Similarly, that same darkness starts from this side. Take that same color and go back into the center of your tea and apply it. This time, the outer edge will remain light. Keep it light. Don't let the paint go all the way to the outer edge. Let the outer edge be a little light. Okay. And that gives our tea some depth. You know that mix, that brown mix we have, the brown and black? You can apply that here on the last one, just on the last one. I'm just trying to deepen the value. Bas, we are done with that. After your ginger is dried, same same yellow ochre we took, no? Just dab a few colors here and there, few bits of that yellow ochre here and there, so that you have some texture to the ginger. Let me just show you now. We are left now only with our the ginger. I just went in with yellow ochre and added a few dark shadows to it, and that's it. Bas. Last is our kulfi. Kulfi, we are going in with the same crimson we created last time. With that little more, like a wee bit more pigment. And let's look for the dark shades. Where are the dark shades? Here. So the dark is sitting on this part. Okay. On this part. Dry your brush after you put this darkness. Dry your brush and simply drag your color up like this, so that the shade becomes subtle. Okay. Kulfi, this thing needs sticks need a little bit of color. Just adding a little bit of yellow, ochre, brown, whatever shade works best for you. Gray. Just take a little bit of gray like we did for the teacup, and see, not teacup, yeah, green tea. And apply that gray on the outer rim of this vessel. It's supposed to be whiter, by the way. It's supposed to be white, but it's ceramic, and we want to show a hint of gray. Done. Now our names. This is what we wanted to paint in with brush. Okay, I haven't erased my name here, but I've kept it there as a guide. I'm going to go in with uh, pink because we have pink at the bottom. Okay. I didn't get my eraser, so I'm going to have to make do with no kneadable eraser this time. I'm going to have to make do with normal eraser. I'm going to lighten this because I don't want the pencil marks to show. But if you have kneadable, please go ahead and use kneadable. It really does damage the paper. Okay. Thin brush. If you are uncomfortable with using a thick brush tip, use a thin brush and letter this. The reason I said don't make it too dark is because if it is not very dark, you can make it darker at the end, giving it some kind of a text effect. Now you can go in with a concentrated shade of the same crimson and touch it at the tip of your wet paint here. Only at the bottom of your letters. I know it's not very evident on the screen here, but the top is lighter. Okay. An alternative here would be if you want to color this banner in some color. Uh, Usually banners are like this dull yellow, yellow ochre shade. If you want to do that, make sure you do that first, followed by then the lettering after it has dried. If you want to. I'm not going with it simply because there's a lot of brown on this page. I do not want more brown. So I'm going to leave mine this way. So I'm going to leave it white, which means I'm going to have to put in a little gray, just a wee bit over here to show shadow. Okay, this is the where the paper is folding or the back of the paper is visible. Okay, now we are back to the last thing, which is a little more pink for our I'm deepening the color, wiping off the paint and lightening it. Wipe it off, wash off your pink, and then with a very damp brush, just dull this color here. use the damp brush to blend, okay? So that we don't get a very harsh dark and light tone. Similarly, I will also go in with a brown, that slightly darker brown, and put a slight thickness here. See, on this thin part here. It's the small details that really make a world of a difference. So I would recommend going in with all these small details. We have one more little bit of gray to factor in, and that is here at the edge of this cup, at the rim of this cup. It is too subtle to make out now, but when you add it in, it gives the cup some sense of being a glass. The last part is shadows. We can add shadows to every single item out here. Okay. You can choose to have a blue shadow or a gray shadow. Both are good. Since we don't have too much blue on this page, I'm going to go with the cerulean blue shadow. Okay. Cerulean blue shadow will be just pick cerulean blue from your palette. Take very little of it. Add water. Make it a wash. And you're going to apply this to all the items that are dried. So be careful. Remember which ones are done first. A slight shadow under all these items. Just a slight. So under the bhajia, just one like small bits, not too much. If you make it too big, it takes away from the actual picture. Got to sit there subtly. Is it even showing? I'm not even sure if you can see it. Not showing at all on the screen. Huh? I can see it. I'll show it to you close up when I'm done with the. That's it. Okay. So those are my shadows. Can you see them? Under the dokla, under the samosa, even under the kulfi. Very slight, but they are there. I'm going to take a photo of this so that you can see it on the group as well. So I think in this photo, you'll be able to see more clearly the shadows that I have. So that ends this menu. You can make a menu as colorful as this. Now the second option is taking black paper. Okay, let's take some black paper. If you have black paper, please pull it out. And let's make a quick menu. Now this is going to be really quick using a white jelly roll pen. Okay, white jelly roll pen and black paper. If you don't have it, don't worry. You can do the same exercise in on a white paper with black pen. No different as such.
I'm also wondering, Suzanne, because maybe I have white pencil. I can try that.
Try. Why not? Why not? I was just showing. I don't know if you were there when I showed the gray paper. Did you see me do the white on gray paper? This is how it looks.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So it's nice, but it is not standing out as much, right? Yeah. You can see all the elements, but it's not the same as this. Now see, look at this.
With the black.
So much better, right?
Mm.
So you can try different shades. I think if you ask me, the brown Amazon cover paper will be darker than this, so the white will show better. But still, black is always best. Okay. So if you don't have it, don't worry. Try on the brown Amazon paper or whatever. And worst case, you can always do it in black on any of these papers, even white paper, right?
Yeah.
So
I have the black paper, but I'm not finding the white pen.
you're not able to find the white pen. So don't worry, don't worry. You have any other jelly roll pens?
That's what I'm looking at. I mean, I have
Oh.
so many pens, they are all here.
Yeah, so you can try any jelly roll that will stand out on black. Okay, so what we will do now is let's try and illustrate a salad menu here. Okay, we are going to have the word salad or menu or something written here, and we are going to also have some fruits and veggies that go into different salads, not a particular salad, any bunch of fruits and veggies, and then we list 4 or 5 salads over here. Okay, but what we are going to maintain here is we are going to have the name of the salad followed by a very, very short description of maybe the key things that go into that salad. Okay. An example would be, now why I'm telling you that is because this menu will be now different from a menu where we are adding values and no descriptions about the individual items. What a samosa, you are expected to know what samosa is. But here in this menu, we are not adding price. We are merely adding the name of some 4 or 5 salads with a short description under it. And so the short description has to have a different lettering. That is the important part. Okay. So I'm going to list the items here. Let me just turn my page. Oh,
Maybe I can try the gold pen. I have the gold pen.
why not? Why not? Why not? So I'm just listing, where's my pencil gone? Okay. So we are going to have few items. One is Caesar salad. We all know Caesar salad. Is Caesar salad spelled any other way? I am writing it this way and I'm not sure.
I think it's
S-A-R.
C-E-A-R.
C-A-E, no?
AE or EA? I was unsure. That's why I'm asking.
A-E.
CAESAR.
Okay. CAE.
Because you can use that combined letter, no? The A-E combined letter. So that is A first and
So CAESAR. Okay.
Hmm.
If you want to Google and check, you can go ahead and do that. Huh? Now Caesar salad. The addition here will be with croutons. Okay. CROTONS. Now Caesar salad we'll have in capital, but the with croutons we will make small. Or we can say with croutons and
you mean the bread, this thing? Fried bread?
what is that?
The fried bread pieces, no?
Yeah.
Then that is C-R-O-U.
OU. Okay. So
C-O-N-S.
yeah. CROUTONS, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So CROUTONS. Now you can leave it as with croutons, or you can say with croutons and chicken. That's up to you. Okay. But the point is, the main focus here is Caesar salad. The rest of it you can read. Make a little effort and read what goes into Caesar. Okay. So let's take the second example. Will be actually, you know what? Since the menu is going to have the name salad in it, it doesn't make sense to repeat salad here. So let's take the salad out of it. Let's leave only Caesar. That's one type. Next is any other suggestions on salad names?
Watermelon feta.
Okay, there you go. Watermelon feta.
Tabbouleh.
With what? Can you give me any with?
Tabbouleh. That
Sorry?
is with couscous and wait, I'll tell you.
COUS, couscous and
No, the name of the salad is tabbouleh. TABBOULEH.
D.
T-A.
D, no? D for Delhi, right?
No, T for Travancore,
Okay,
A
okay.
for Ahmedabad,
Huh?
B for Bombay, 2 B's. O-U, L, L for London, E for England, H for Hyderabad.
Oh, how do you say this?
Tabbouleh.
Tabbouleh. Interesting. So
So
this
this
is
has, parsley, tomatoes, mint, onion, uncooked bulgur, which is like dalia,
okay. I'm going
olive
to
oil,
say,
lemon.
yeah. So I'm going to say parsley and give me one more item.
Mint, tomatoes, and bulgur. Bulgur is important.
Okay. What is that?
Bulgur or
B.
dalia. B-U-L, B for Bombay, U-L-G-A-R or
Okay.
G-U-R, either way. G-U-R,
Okay.
G-U-R.
Okay. So we won't put the remaining items because I'm trying to keep it as concise as
Okay.
possible just for this thing.
Yeah.
This watermelon feta with couscous, and can I have one more item? It doesn't have to be real. Just something that goes couscous and
Olives.
olives. There you go. Perfect. Now can we have two more?
Maybe Shirazi salad.
Tell me the name.
SHI
Yeah.
RAZI.
RAZI. Any descriptions without?
So it's like a Persian salad with cucumber, onion, and tomatoes.
Perfect. With cucumber, onion and tomatoes, no? Onion.
Yeah. So maybe we can add maybe cucumber and tomatoes.
We can do cucumber and tomatoes, but let's just leave it at that. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's put one more.
Yeah, so I'm reading one which is kachumber salad. I mean, the typical Indian salad.
Papaya salad.
You can add one with fruits, no? With some
We
fruits
can,
in it.
we can, like a
Papaya
Russian,
salad.
like a Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Russian, correct.
Yeah, Russian salad.
So a Russian with, can we add some exotic stuff?
Pineapple.
Yes. And one more, even a sauce was fine.
Mayo.
Okay. Okay, that's it. Perfect. So what I'm trying to point out is that we are going to give all these salad names some impetus by having it in caps. And the description is going to be in either running hand or smaller caps, whatever works for you. Okay. So don't think that you have to always have running hand. If you feel running hand is not required, write the same description, but in smaller letters so that it sits under the big letter. Okay. All right, so black paper out. We are going to draw straight on. Okay. First things first, we write the names of the salad first. And we write the menu. So we are going to call this salad menu. Okay. What lettering would you like? Now we have some examples here. We have this kind of lettering. We can have running hand. Your choice, your pick. You can, even if you are very keen on it, you can even do what Aditi does with those vintage letters. She does these things.
Yeah.
Vintage letters. Something like this. She makes a skeleton. And after she makes a skeleton,
The
she
chicken.
yeah, the
Chicken feet.
correct, the chicken feet. She does
Yeah.
the chicken feet, and then she does the outline, right? Remember?
Yeah.
This way.
But it might be a little difficult with a white pen, no? Don't you think? Because you won't be
Yeah,
able to
it
erase
may
it
be
afterwards.
challenging. I'm just upping the ante if you feel like doing it. I'm not saying we should, okay? So I'm just showing you how a vintage.
But would you leave the chicken feet in then?
What is that?
Would you leave the chicken feet in?
I mean, will the feet be visible? The chicken,
Visible?
you're gonna
No,
fill
no,
it.
no, no, no. We'll have to do it in pencil and do the outline in
And then do the okay.
yeah, do the outline. No, no, no. We can't do that. The in between we don't leave. Yeah. I'm just giving you an example of what we could write. Either the word salad or the word menu could be written in one of these letters if you feel up to it. If not, I'm not going to do that because I'm also worried about time. So what I'm going to do, I like my lettering. I like my lettering this way also. Now L, okay. The word L is the center. The letter L is in the center of my salad. So I'm going to do this lettering. In the end, I come back to this so often because I'm just so comfortable doing it. And this particular lettering, I love doing it wonky. I really enjoy doing it wonky. You don't have to do it that way. You can have all the letters in the same height. And I have done that for the desserts. If you saw my desserts, see, I've done it uniformly, uniform height. But what I'm doing here with this salad is I'm going to play around a bit. So I'm just doing something like this. Next thing, I want to make sure that I have more or less evenly spaced letters for not spaced lines. So what I will do is I will take my pencil and a ruler and simply mark out the lines I want. So I would like to have a line one, maybe, and because it's only 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This looks good. Okay, about an inch apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. Spacing them out like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 1. So I'm taking this 2 inches off my bottom, just so you know. 2 inches off my bottom. I'm going to mark five marks on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same way, another 2 inches off the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I will, just for my reference, on black paper. Sure, Malika, no problem. Just for my reference, I'm going to draw these lines, but I'm not drawing them throughout, only in the center. These are just guidelines, so I don't want to erase too much later. Just in the center, because I want the letters to be sitting without tilting. Okay. Now only you will get to see these lines because this is black paper. If you are using black paper, that is. If you're using white paper, of course, it will be more evident. Okay. And on this, one more thing I would like to do is mark the center. Approximate center will be enough. You don't have to make it perfect. Put a vertical line. Why? Because when we are writing the names of the salads, no, we can space our letters accordingly. So first is Caesar, S-A-E, right? C-A-E, sorry, C-A-E-S-A-R. So A and E, C-A-E, then middle line, S-A-R. Caesar with what do we say? Croutons and chicken. With croutons and chicken. Next is watermelon feta. Now watermelon feta 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm counting 15 because of one spacing in between feta, watermelon and feta. So about 15, which means the middle one will be 14, 4, 7, 7 plus 1. The eighth letter will be the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. L is the middle. It will be on the line. Water before it, watermelon. So now writing backwards like this, no, please be careful. Our brain is not wired to write backwards. So spelling mistakes are a common problem. Is feta double T or single T?
Single.
Okay. And does the E have a accent?
You can, but it's not necessary. It's okay.
Not necessary. Okay, fine. Watermelon feta with couscous and olives. Couscous and olives are not going to be wider than this. So start in the same kind of place. Then we have tabbouleh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So fifth letter will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. O. with parsley and bulgur. With parsley and bulgur is looking as big as croutons and chicken. So Shirazi R. Now, yeah, I guess R is it. Cucumber and tomato. Last is Russian with pineapple and mayo. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. S. S is going to sit here. Yeah. Now that this is done, let us quickly draw veggies. So veggies, I'm going to just give you, I'm looking up Pinterest, okay? Now this is just for a guidance. So let's say we have veggies. Having something like this is a good guide to whatever vegetables we want to draw, because we get the shape and proportion more or less right, okay? So I can send you that, or I can send you individual ones. Let's just draw in what we have. I'll look for tomatoes first. Tomatoes. Sideways looking tomatoes would be better. Yeah, something like this. Maybe we can start with an onion, because onions we all know how to draw without a reference. A few strands of hair sticking out at the bottom. Next to the onion, put in a few slices this way. Okay. So network bandwidth is low. Let me just change my. Are you all able to see my screen? Because I'm seeing it as network bandwidth low. Is my screen visible or has it gone off? Are you all able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but it looks it's frozen.
It's okay. It looks okay. 1 minute. Huh?
Now it's okay. Yeah, now
Yeah.
I can see them.
You can see it, no? Okay. Because I'm showing, it's showing on my laptop here rather small, like as if its bandwidth is low. Okay. So here I'm drawing some tomatoes, and for tomato, it's rather easy. We just draw these. And remember that we have to draw the shape a bit oval. Next to the tomato, you can have a cut piece of tomato if that helps. So, for example,
The Shirazi is with what? Cucumber and tomato.
yeah, cucumber and tomato. But we're just drawing tomato in there. And then let's look for the reference of which one is it? We definitely needs uh, lettuce, because some salad is going to have lettuce. So a picture of lettuce is going to help us over here. Looking at a real reference image helps us get these shapes better. Just so you, when you're trying, try not to, especially if you don't know the vegetable too well. Like last time I drew salad leaves or lettuce leaves, I drew them so bland, like shapeless, that they look like spinach. Very common mistake, right? So I just made them large and right oblong kind of, and shaped like almost like a bengan, and then it just didn't look like lettuce. Lettuce has some characteristic that is slightly different from spinach. So be very careful. I mean, unless you want spinach. If you want spinach, that's fine. But if you want lettuce, just make sure that you're putting in these little things, looking at a real image.
And this reminds me, Suzanne, when we were on that Mahabaleshwar retreat, so Aditi took us to the farm, and I think me and Zai were looking at, okay, what do we sketch? And how do we sketch all these plants and vegetables?
So what did you all do then finally?
No, we sketch, but I mean, when once you see Aditi's sketch and you see your sketch, you're like, okay, yeah, she has that.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's just fabulous.
She
Yeah.
took us to that strawberry farm. So she said, focus on one veggie, just get it into the paper and then another veggie. So bring it like
Oh.
composition and everything.
They were all colors. Like there was this Lolo Rossi, Rosso, Rosse, whatever.
Yeah.
Then the Swiss charts with different
Oh.
color stems. So it was like a riot of colors even within the salad leaves.
Oh.
The textures were different. Some were feathery,
Oh.
like dill was there.
Right, right, right.
So it was fun.
I guess, I mean, I'm come to think of it, yeah, if you see all of them in one go, no, you just feel overwhelmed. You don't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, I felt the same, and I said, "What should I do?" And then I started to look at, okay, I mean, what she's sketching, so that I
Yeah.
get a direction that, okay, maybe I have to think like that.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Where to start, no? Like,
Yeah.
so now I have here some leaves, some types of lettuce. So if you feel like you have the energy to draw another lettuce somewhere here, please go ahead, because it's going to add to the goodness of this page. I would never have drawn lettuce this way, by the way. In my mind, it's just a leaf. So I would have drawn very likely a leaf. But now that I see it, I see what I would not have done had I not looked at the picture. The veins are so important. Okay, what else should we add to this? We have some names, no? Pineapple is there, mayo, cucumber. Don't put akka vegetables everywhere. Like you can put akka and then the pieces as well. Put the pieces, they really make a difference. Okay, so there is cucumber. Cucumber has got a okay. So I'm looking at a cucumber here. If I draw it such that comes in this way, and we have a cut. On top of that, there are some there you go. Now the cucumber is important to have it's important that you give it some thickness. Huh? So remember to give the side ka thickness. And then in between, of course, we have these some lines on the cucumber also may help. Thin lines. For this, if you have those jelly roll pens which have thin, what do you call it, 0.5 jelly roll pen and all that, no, the ones, I don't have that. Huh? I have just the standard 0.7. But if you have it, all these fine details are great with that. Very, very good. But here you just have to be very light with your fingers and then you'll get this. Okay, so cucumbers added. What else shall we look for? Lettuce, tomato, olives. Actually, mushrooms. Mushrooms are a great shape. Huh? Just for the shape. Even though we don't have it as such mentioned, they are excellent for a shape. So let's draw some mushrooms over here. See, look at this. So let's put in some mushrooms here. Okay, since we are not adding color, it doesn't matter where you place them. If you're putting color, remember not to put all the greens on one side or all the reds on one side. Here, there's no worry because we are only putting shapes. So shape of a mushroom. This part, I will just darken a bit. Yeah. So one or two mushrooms, I can even make them akka mushroom without the cut. Just that frilly thing and the whole mushroom as it is. Let's pick another one.
But this is amazing. I never thought, drawing on the black paper with this kind of pen would be so therapeutic.
Nice, na?
And I mean, I felt
Oh, I love how you got the mushroom. So cute.
practice the lettering also. I mean, you go so nice.
In fact, I was playing around so much with this. Actually, I just looked at the actual reference pictures and just went about making all these shapes. Just look at one ice cream, then look at this ice cream, then frozen yogurt, and it was great fun. This was yesterday, by the way. I was sitting at the doctor's this thing for my eye checkup, and
Wow.
all this happened. So, looking at the actual reference photo, I find that I am now like I'm not overwhelmed. Like I'm able to say, okay, chalo, I will just draw the shape I see. Bus. In between, I'm not going to let the color upset me or
Yeah.
whatever, let's just look at the shape. It's roundish, it's ovalish, it's curvy,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. And I also remember, Suzanne, I was sketching at the art retreat. There was a page like, loose tools were on the road. So I just picked and I was just sketching the shapes. So then that's what the Aditi said, you look at the picture and see where are the shadows. Don't just make the shadows at every.
Yeah.
Just look at the picture, and once you make the same shadows in the picture, you see what you draw makes a difference.
Absolutely. This
Like,
part, no, it is true, because what happens is the mind goes into some kind of, okay, they're all circles. Chalo, circle lagao.
yeah.
I mean,
Huh.
yeah, they are circles. Nobody is disputing, but look at them more carefully. Every circle is not a circle. Some of them are some other shape. Even the placement. Sometimes, okay, they are all circles. I'm not
Yeah.
disputing that part. But the placement of the circle matters.
Matters.
Some circles are touching, some are not touching.
Yeah.
So all those matter, no? In our heads, we start becoming straight away putting it into a shape and chalo.
Okay, and then
Now don't look back.
yeah. And
That
then
is why,
that we are disappointed. What does it look like?
thoroughly disappointed. I put all the circles. Where is it? You're absolutely right. So now I have this capsicum. I really like the way it is sitting over here. And I'm going to try and see if I can do it. We're well past 11 o'clock. So we just quickly finish this. I think okay. Now I've made this, but we have a problem in that my other one will not be able to fit in here. Yeah. So it's going to go out a bit. And that's fine. No option. Otherwise, my proportion will go wrong. Okay, not bad. Capsicum done. What else shall we put? Cabbage. Cabbage.
You can put walnuts or some almonds or some seeds.
No? Yeah. Okay, let me do that also. I'm going to put one big cabbage here. Over here. So nuts and smaller ones, I'm going to use them as fillers wherever I feel that we could put something, but it can't be too big. Which is going to happen now. Now that we filled in most of our not such a great cabbage, but we'll have to do. What did we say other than okay, carrot. Carrot is definitely required. The shape of a carrot definitely required. Carrot. So B, my carrot will have to go from here. Carrot is a vegetable that we don't need a reference photo all the time. We all can make decent carrots. What you can't make is decent carrot leaves. Small leaves it's got. All right, carrot is there. Cucumber. We could add that watermelon we wanted to add, no, because we have a watermelon somewhere. A slice of watermelon we can put. No? Maybe a wedge, that triangular wedge of watermelon. This may be good. Yeah, should be enough. Now we said walnuts, no? Nuts and even garlic is not a bad idea, by the way. Pods of garlic like this. Small fillers. They're excellent as small fillers. Although we don't use too much of garlic in tomato, whatever I'm missing, pineapple, I can't draw now, such big pieces, mayo, couscous, olives, small. There you go. Olives are good to draw. So we can fill them up here. Walnuts. Very pretty. Let's put a walnut here. What happens is this is not very discernible as a walnut unless you put something on the bottom, on the ground, which is out of its shell. Maybe then you can make out it's a walnut. Chickpeas are also a possibility. You can draw chickpeas like this. What else? I think it's more or less filled up. If we need what else? I think maybe not too much is also fine. Like, all these kind of fillers should be enough. Definitely one more over here, I think, is required. Just two. Okay, are we done? We can have, oh, I forgot, but you could have also put corn, Corn would have been nice at some place, but now there's no space to put corn. Corn should be this way. Yeah, not bad, no? So a salad board, I mean, sorry, chalkboard is actually quite easy to do once you have laid a foundation like this. Imagine doing this larger.
Right.
Oh, very nice. 1 minute. Hold on. Let me just spotlight. 1 minute. Alka's aloo. Oh, very lovely. Nice. I like your lettering, Alka.
Thank
Very nice. Ritika's. Ooh. What? This is gold, huh,
Oh,
Ritika?
nice.
Bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah. Oh, she managed a pineapple also. Lovely.
Very nice. Looks quite nice, huh?
Oh,
I mean, I'm surprised how this gold pen has
Gold is
turned
good?
out, on that.
yeah.
It's looking very nice. Very fancy.
Oh,
Very
very
nice.
nice.
This is
Now
like
you
that
can-
Salt Bay guys menu.
Yeah, we can do sprinkler.
right?
That's a good idea. Sprinkler.
The Salt Bay guys menu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Salad menu will be gold.
Yeah. It's very nice.
It is.
He adds gold foil to all his meat and steaks.
Very pretty.
He's like that.
No, it's looking very
Yeah.
nice. So there's a lot you can do. That's what I'm saying. So play around with certain menus. I'm telling you, you can do a lot more than other menus. So this is one
Even
example
this
where I did not feel like I
is
needed to
also
fill up.
really,
This is looking
happy
really
with
nice. This is looking really nice.
Oh, I should show you that also.
yeah.
Super,
Can you see?
super. Let me see Alka's.
Yeah.
Super means super. Oh, where's Alka? Ah, nice Alka. Very, very nice. Very nice. Super, super.
Yeah. I mean, these menus were really fun, Susan.
Yeah,
Fun,
it
huh?
was really fun. Yes.
Good, na? No, so
Yeah.
I'm
Love.
thinking that now that we've done